The United States and China are in a trade war. This conflict has been escalating over the past few years, affecting not just the two countries involved but the entire global economy. This means they are fighting over the rules of trade. Both nations are trying to protect their own economic interests while accusing the other of unfair practices. Each country is putting taxes on goods from the other country. These taxes, known as tariffs, are meant to make imported goods more expensive and less attractive to consumers. These taxes are called tariffs. The US started it by imposing tariffs on a wide range of Chinese products, from electronics to clothing. They put tariffs on Chinese goods. This move was intended to pressure China into changing its trade policies. Then China put tariffs on US goods. In retaliation, China targeted American products like soybeans and automobiles. The US says China is cheating in trade. They accuse China of manipulating their currency and providing unfair subsidies to Chinese companies. They say China steals technology and doesn't play fair. Allegations of intellectual property theft have further strained relations. China says the US is being unfair. They argue that the US is trying to stifle China's growth and maintain its own global dominance. They say the US is just trying to hold them back. This tit-for-tat has led to increased tensions and uncertainty in global markets. The tariffs are making things more expensive. Consumers in both countries are feeling the pinch as prices for everyday items rise. People in both countries are paying more for things. This has led to increased financial strain on households and businesses alike. Businesses are also being hurt. Many companies are struggling to absorb the higher costs, leading to layoffs and closures. This is because it costs more to trade. The increased costs are being passed down the supply chain, affecting everyone from manufacturers to consumers. This trade war is a big deal. It's not just a bilateral issue, it's reshaping global trade dynamics. It's impacting the whole world. Countries that rely on trade with the US and China are feeling the effects. Other countries are worried about what will happen. They are concerned about the long-term implications for global trade and economic stability. They don't want to get caught in the middle. Many nations are trying to navigate this complex situation without taking sides. China is fighting back against the US tariffs. The trade war between these two economic giants has escalated, with each side imposing tariffs on the other's goods. This tit-for-tat strategy is creating ripples across global markets. They are putting their own tariffs on US goods. This move is aimed at pressuring the US to reconsider its stance, but it also has significant implications for global trade dynamics. This is hurting businesses in the US. Many American companies are struggling to cope with the increased costs and reduced market access, leading to layoffs and closures. For example, farmers are having trouble selling their crops to China. Soybean farmers in particular have been hit hard, with large quantities of their produce going unsold. China is also trying to find new trade partners. They are actively seeking to diversify their trade relationships to reduce dependency on the US market. They are making deals with other countries. These new agreements are designed to open up alternative markets for Chinese goods and services. This is so they don't have to rely on the US as much. By establishing new trade routes and partnerships, China aims to mitigate the impact of US tariffs. China is a powerful country with a lot of people. Its large population and robust manufacturing sector give it significant influence in global trade. This gives them a lot of leverage in trade deals. China's economic clout allows it to negotiate from a position of strength. However, China is also facing some economic problems. The country is grappling with a slowing economy and structural issues. Their property market is struggling. Overbuilding and speculative investments have led to a surplus of vacant properties. Many young people can't find jobs. Youth unemployment is a growing concern, with many graduates unable to secure employment. The trade war with the US is making these problems worse. The economic strain from the tariffs is exacerbating existing issues within China. Even though China is facing challenges, they are determined to stand up to the US. The Chinese government remains resolute in its stance against US tariffs. They believe they are in the right. National pride and a sense of justice drive their actions. They are willing to fight for what they think is fair. China is prepared to endure economic hardships to defend its trade policies and principles. The trade war is having a big impact on the global economy. When the US and China put tariffs on each other's goods, it affects everyone. Businesses around the world are worried. In Europe, stock markets have been going up and down. One day they are down, the next day they are up. It's hard to know what will happen next. Businesses in Europe are worried about the tariffs. They do a lot of trade with both the US and China. Asian markets have also been affected. Some countries like Japan have seen their markets go up. Others like Taiwan have seen their markets go down. The trade war is creating a lot of uncertainty. This is bad for businesses. They need to be able to plan for the future. Section 4. Trouble across the pond. The United Kingdom is caught in the middle of the trade war between two of the world's largest economies. They are close allies with the US, sharing a long history and strong political ties, but they also do a lot of trade with China, which is crucial for their economy. The UK is worried about the tariffs imposed by both the US and China, fearing the impact on their businesses and overall economy. They are afraid it will hurt their economy, leading to a decline in business activities and potential job losses. People in the UK are worried about the cost of living going up, as tariffs could lead to higher prices for everyday goods. If the tariffs make goods from China more expensive, they will have to pay more for products that are essential to their daily lives. Some people in the UK want their government to fight back against the US tariffs, believing that a strong stance is necessary to protect their interests. They think the UK should put its own tariffs on US goods to level the playing field and support local businesses. The UK is trying to negotiate its own trade deals, seeking to establish new partnerships and strengthen existing ones. They want to be able to trade freely with other countries, ensuring that their economy remains robust and competitive. But it's not easy. The trade war between the US and China is making everything more complicated, creating uncertainty and instability in global markets. Section 5. A future uncertain. What will happen next in the trade war? It's hard to say. Some people think the US and China will eventually work out a deal. They say it's in everyone's best interest to end the trade war. Others are not so optimistic. They think the trade war could last for a long time. They say it could even lead to a real war. The trade war is a dangerous game. Both the US and China have a lot to lose. The trade war is a reminder that we live in a globalized world. What happens in one part of the world affects everyone. We are all connected. It's important to remember that when making decisions that could affect the global economy.